Welcome back to the third video in this series. This video is about, it's kind of similar to the second one in the sense we are going to now create a new chord method. We're going to follow the same format like we did for scale. And the idea that I'm thinking of, so here we have this provision scales.js that we wrote in the previous episode. We're going to just kind of copy it over and call it provision chords instead. Okay, we can call this as chord maps instead of scale maps. We will start with the major scale and the minor scale just like we did earlier, and we'll get rid of the rest of it because this is scales, right? We don't need this at the moment. And then instead of get scale maps, we'll call it get chord maps. This logic is going to change, so I'm just going to remove it. This might change a bit as well, but instead of scale we'll call this chord obviously, and wherever we have a reference for the word scale we'll change that to chord that way. And then over here as an example we'll go for C major scale to start with, and we'll start nodemon over here for provision chords instead. So obviously there is some issue over here and we'll get to it soon. So we'll start by updating this regular expression for chords, because this regular expression that we have over here is expecting something like C4 space and then either major, minor, harmonic, major, harmonic, minor. It's expecting that kind of a pattern, but when it comes to chords the names are slightly different. And if we take a look at the so here on the ScribbleTune documentation we have the list of all the available chords, and look at the way these chords look like. And some of these chords we may not be able to support, like these 64 and whatnot, but the aim of this video is to support as many chords as possible. So what we can do is we can avoid supporting chords which just have numbers in them, like this 64. I saw 64 and I saw something else like this, right? Oh sorry, this one 7#5. I don't even know what this 7 sharpened fifth or something, I don't know. 16, I don't even know what the hell. Okay, does it mean like the 6th note and the 9th sharpened note and the 11th note? Probably that's what it means. So some of these chords we may not be able to support, but we'll do our best to support as many as we can. So let's start by updating the regular expression for this. We can stick to this guy, this can stay over here, the accidental can stay over here, and I don't think this chord, this octave may not come over here, so we can get rid of the octave. Space also won't be over here because I don't think there is any space in the chords, and the chord themselves can have either A to Z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9. We saw that some chords have the numbers in them and they won't have space, so we can get rid of space, but we can add a hyphen because I saw some chords with hyphens in it, and I saw one chord which has a plus sign in it. So if I go back to this and look for plus, so there it is, it has got a plus sign in it. And then let's look for a minus sign. So yeah, so this is going to be our new regular expression. I'm missing something. So the current chord method, right, if we go back over here, it allows us to specify an octave as well. So if you specify a chord like this, right, C capital M implies major, F capital M capital M implies major. If you wanted to give it an octave you could give it like this, -5. But I was thinking of getting rid of this hyphen and substituting that with a underscore, and since this is a major version rewrite, I think we can make those kind of changes because it's okay to not have backward compatible changes. So let's call that thing as an optional, and maybe we can make a capturing group out of it, an optional underscore followed by a number, and this thing is optional. So let's start by consoling out the match. Okay, so here we have the match. The first is just the match. This is the root, which makes sense, it's 1. Accidental, we don't have an accidental. 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the chord. Okay, that's the problem. So the chord name is actually 3, and octave is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Octave is not defined. So if it is not defined, first of all, it is 4. We are going to use a string as 4. And if it is defined, then we need to substitute that. There's that plane again. We need to replace, we don't need to replace, yeah, why not? Yeah, replace, and then we can use any non-digit character. We can replace that with a empty string. Something is missing. Yeah, one brace is missing. Yeah, either it takes whatever that it found and replaces any non-digit item with element with empty space, or it uses 4. This is what our octave is going to be like. So already we are seeing that we are not kind of breaking, but we're still nowhere close to actually returning the chord. We need to return something like this, not like this. So we have the root note, the accidental, the octave, note, chord name. In the earlier video we went through this pitch thing, and then we separated the earlier pitch with the next pitch and calculated the difference, and based on the difference we set up these alphabet or all these letters to form that scale map. But in case of the chords, I was thinking we can just use an array instead, an array that we will use to get hold of the notes from a chromatic scale. We need to spruce up this method, and this str over here is just the chord name. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an array called chord map and start with 0, because we expect that any any chord that the user expects from us from ScribbleTune will at least have the first note as is from the scale that we're going to derive the chord out of. And what we're going to do is we're going to get chord notes for that particular chord the regular way by using scribble.chord and passing C plus the chord name, in this case the string. Maybe we can just rename this to chord name instead. So what we're doing over here, and this step, right, where we are going to go over this, and maybe we can make this as chords instead. This is a one-time step. This step is to just get hold of the final chord maps which this method will ultimately consume going forward. So this thing what we're doing over here is just a one-time step, and I'll probably remove this out of the main chord method and move it to some tooling folder or something, but I wanted to be a part of this repository. So this get chord maps method starts by getting hold of the chord notes of the tonal based scribble.chord method. So now we have the chord notes for, if we had passed CM, is going to get the chord notes for C major, the C, E and G. So let's grab the first note from there. Chord notes, again we'll do the shift business that we did earlier on, and let's grab the pitch from this first note. So let current pitch is equal to, and we'll use JS midgen for getting hold of the pitch, the MIDI pitch from the note, and we're going to start with the first note obviously. So now we have it, and then we're going to do a while loop like we did earlier on. Same drill. Chord notes dot length, while there is something in there, let note equal chord notes dot shift. So we'll do the same thing. We'll start removing notes from the front and then grab their pitch. And in this case, we are going to compare this pitch with the root node's pitch every time. We're not going to increment that like the way we did it for the scales. If you saw that video, we're always going to have a index in relation to the first note. So the current pitch will always be current pitch. It'll never change. This will change. Actually, we could have even made it a const because it's not going to change. So this is the pitch of the incoming notes, and we are going to push them inside this chord map dot push, and this is an array of numbers. We started with the first note, which is the 0th note. We just need the what is the distance of this pitch from this pitch. So all we need to do is just do pitch, current pitch, yeah, and I think that's it. We return this. C6 is not a chord, so we need to start supporting some things which are not going to be, like we discussed in the beginning of this video, we won't be supporting certain chords. So let's make an array of unsupported chords. Const unsupported chord names is equal to, let's start with C. We'll start with 6. We're not going to support this. Unsupported chords dot includes the incoming chord, right? If this incoming chord is coming, if the incoming chord is something that we don't support, then we just return, we won't do anything with it. And then if it is something that we support, then we just console it out at the moment by sending it to get chord maps. 67, yeah, we are not supporting 67 for sure. So let's add that also over here, 67. What's next? 1, cannot read property 1 of, okay, this one is not supported. This delta 7, whatever it is. Let's add that to our non-supported chords. Half diminished is not supported, I don't know why, but there are some chords that we're not going to support right out of the box. C2 is not a chord, yeah, it's a note. 2 is also not supported. 69 is not supported. What have we here? 69 hash 11, we're not going to support it. So we will add the support for these chords as time goes by, but for now these chords we are not going to support. That's what we have decided. In later videos we will support it, but for now maybe we can move this to over here so that it's more logical. And as we can see, there is no error thrown out. We are still returning the entire array, which is a problem, but that's fine. Let's start by building a chromatic scale. In fact, I was thinking let's do it like a double chromatic scale, so that if we have some chord names like looks like this, like major, add, flat ninth and all that, here 9 implies the second note from the next octave, second or third, I don't know. So we have to make sure that we have sufficient space for that. And scribble.scale returns an array, so we can just concatenate another array to that, which will be from C5. So this way we have a chromatic scale, double chromatic scale for the C note. So C chromatic. So note plus chromatic. We cannot use note over here because we want to bump the octave at this point. And how we'll bump the octave is by making it a number first so that we can add it. So just putting a plus before that to coerce it to a number. And now hopefully we have a chromatic scale. Let's just console that out to see how it looks. Yeah, there it is. It's like a double chromatic scale, 2 chromatic scales, one after the other, into one scale, into one array. So we're going to use this, we're going to work with this, we're going to iterate over the elements of this array and use the map that we established from it. By the way, why is all this 0 0 0 0? Something is funky. There cannot be zeros, right? Firstly, this itself is wrong. It should be an array. It should be an array of 0, 4 and 6. These are the indices, right? And this one would be 0, 3 and I think it's 7, right? and 7. Okay, and it's returning this chord map 0 note. Yeah, now we have it. Let's have something like this. Yeah, now let's see what have we got. Yeah, these are all arrays. Okay, so we have all the chord maps. Now the next thing is to just check if it is returning the chords. Not yet. We can get rid of this chromatic. We can create a new array, and in this array what we're going to do is we're just going to iterate over the incoming chord, and we'll add some error handling for this like we did for scales, but basically we are going to iterate over each element and then push it into the array based on its index. So this L over here, actually we should call it index, IDX. Actually I don't know what to call it. Okay, let's leave it as IDX. But this index over here is basically one of these indexes. So what we're going to push inside over here is chromatic and then IDX. Finally, we're going to return that array. Yeah. So something has gone wrong. For each of undefined. Chord name. That's what we want. Okay, there we have it finally. Let's remove the unnecessary console logs. We don't need this. Then we don't need none of this really. We don't need this. We can comment this out. We don't need this anymore because this is just one-time code. Chord maps can be the way it is. So now what we are left with is exactly what we want. The chord that comes from ScribbleTune and the chord that now comes from our new code. Let's try another chord. Let's try something simpler first. Minor 7th. Okay, it's coming out as we expect. Let's try another one. How about minor 9th? Something is funky. We need a space character in a regular expression for the chord names. So let's put a space character. Yeah, there we have it now. All good. And I want to try the sus thing because sus is such a common chord. Suspended second. So let's just try C sus2. Yeah, there we go. We are calling it C sus2. It's not major sus2, just sus2. Why do I have it like this over here? Okay, I don't remember. Anyway. So that's it, guys. I mean, I have this functionality now which can help me, and it's pretty small, right? It's just this much. It will let me use chords and scales in Maxwell Live devices very easily because we are not using any fancy JavaScript in over here. Replace will still need to be polyfilled, but other than that, I think we are good. I think in the next video, all I need to now do is kind of spruce up this index, right? We have this index which is taking in all the functionality and exporting it in one big blob. So we're going to create multiple build targets and multiple entry points based on this index.ts and create these exports for Max4 Live, the browser and the terminal. That's what we're going to do in the next video. So see you then, and thank you for watching.